Hey guys, I'm here at the London Palestine Film Festival. We're actually at a showing for the movie The Voice of Hind Rajab. Now, this film has been dubbed gut-wrenching, it's been called heart-shattering, it's been labeled the year's most powerful film for the acclaim that it's already been receiving, and we're actually sitting down with the cast and director to speak about it. My name is Mohamed Hashem, and this is Real Talk. Kaouther Ben Hania, thank you so much for coming on Real Talk. It's a real pleasure to be speaking to you today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Listen, I was just telling the cast here, I watched the film last night and it was incredibly powerful. I think the audience was, what I felt when I was in that cinema is that the audience was quietly sobbing, right? The one thing I noticed, and this never happened to me in a movie showing before, but when the movie ended and the credits roll came with the sound of the waves, nobody left. Everybody stayed till the very last second. I don't know if this was a recurring thing in all the other screenings, but this was the first experience that I've had where this happened.
Yeah, I think it's a recurrent thing. And I was also thinking about this while doing the credits, because if you remember, we start with the Sea of Gaza sound, and then the sound fades out, and it's silence. It's like a silence minute for the soul of Hind Rajab. And I was thinking that people need silence after this movie, but I wasn't sure. Yeah, they need silence, a silent moment, you know. But I wasn't sure. And as you said, I experienced this in so many screening. People in the dark are sobbing. It's almost like mourning moment, you know, to honor the memory of Hind Rajab.
You know, at the beginning of the screening, one of the producers, Jim Wilson, he had a little speech that he talked about your experience doing this film. He said that you were actually about to start, or you had already started a different project, but then the story of Hind Rajab, obviously her tragic killing, her horrifying killing came about, and it overwhelmed you. I want to hear more about this.
Yes, I was in a very bizarre situation because I was doing the Oscar campaign of For Daughters, which was my previous movie. So I was on those fancy places, but at the same time, I was glued to the news, following what was happening in Gaza. You know, it was an open wound bleeding, and I was asking myself questions about what does it mean to be a filmmaker or an artist in time of genocide, when the reality is beyond the unthinkable. And I had this project that I was writing for several years, and I was about to start the pre-production, waiting to end the Oscar campaign and to start pre-production. And at some point in one of the airport, I heard the voice of Hind Rajab.
That moment, because the cast has been asked multiple times about this, but you actually went and you spoke, first of all, you spoke to his mother, and then you spoke to the Palestinian Red Crescent, and you got the 70-minute recording. The moment you heard Hind Rajab's voice, I just want to get a quick glimpse.
The first time?
The
first time, yes. I felt a very strong, it was a very strange moment, because for a millisecond, her voice was so alive and so immediate that I thought she was asking me to save her, you know? Asking me, yeah, it's totally irrational. But for like a fraction of a second, I had this feeling, and I was like feeling a very strong sense of sadness, anger, and helplessness, you know. So her voice brought to me all those questions I was asking myself about what can I do? Am I helpless? Is it meaningless to do art or to think about filmmaking? What about this movie I'm preparing, you know? Is it the time to tell this story, you know? And quickly I realized that this feeling and her voice haunted me, you know. Actually for days I was traveling and thinking about her voice, and I couldn't escape this feeling of anger, and I had to do something with it. Otherwise, I'll feel myself complicit, or, there was a sense of urgency. So I started, the idea of doing a movie was started to be obvious for me. But I was thinking about the mother.
The mother.
Yeah, Hind's mother. And I thought maybe she don't want a movie about the story of her daughter.
I don't think she has seen it. I mean, I watched a recent interview. I think she spoke very supportively of the film.
Yeah.
But she at the time.
No,
of that
I can
interview,
tell you, I'm in contact.
She has.
I'm in contact with her.
Of course.
We speak a lot on
You
the
still
phone.
do?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Hind's mother can't watch the movie.
Exactly.
She can't hear the recording, the voice of her daughter on internet. It's too painful. Exactly. And you can imagine why, but she's very supportive of the movie. And when I ended the movie, for me, the first person to invite her to watch the movie was the mother. She told me I can't. Show it to my brother. She trusts her brother very well. So we organized a screening for her brother, and then other member of the family watched it to tell her that the movie is good. It honors the memory of Hind Rajab, and actually we'll meet with Wissam, Hind's mother, in few days for the first time. You talked about the question of what it means to be a filmmaker. How do you balance the weight of this responsibility to making a film like this? It was strange, because for me it was very important, vital, I could say, to do this movie. But at the same time, it was so scary, because it's such weight and responsibility. How can I honor her memory? I was given this recording, which is almost a sacred thing, it's her last moments pleading for her life. So it's something very strong. How can I put it in a cinematic form that can push the volume and make her voice echo for eternity? I believe in power of cinema, because cinema is a place where you can experience really empathy. You can understand the other, you put yourself in the place of the people you are watching on the screen. And empathy, for me, was a feeling lost in explaining the Palestinian case. When you start explaining with rational argument, you have bad faith, you get lost shouting, and it become, almost unhearable. So at some point I said to myself, we are done explaining. With cinema, you can feel, you can live the experience from inside. So that's why also this movie gave me faith again in cinema. What does it mean to be a filmmaker? Because I did it with this hope that it may change things, which is a little bit, a big ambition for a filmmaker. So I hope people not only will watch it, but will do something about it. And we'll leave it here, but I do hope that we sit for a longer interview next time. Kaouther Ben Hania, thank you so much for taking time. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Motaz, Saja, Amer, thank you so much for coming on Real Talk. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, absolutely. Listen, it is a real pleasure. I watched the film for the first time last night. This is such an important film. I was so taken aback by your acting. Honestly, phenomenal work. I don't even know if I have the words to say how blown away I was by the film.
Thank you.
Genuinely. And I want to start there, because I think we all know what the film represents. It represents a larger picture of the tragedy of Gaza, the tragedy of the genocide, the horrifying conditions of the genocide. But what does this film mean to each one of you? Motaz, we can start with you.
Yes, it's a really hard question, but it means, first of all, you're talking about true event, about one of our children, which is one of hundreds of thousands who've been suffering and still suffering. This is the big thing, and to bring such an important story, and the way, the brutality, the way they killed her, the brutality they used to kill her, means the world to me, like to tell this truth even to the world. That's what's happening exactly to our children, and do something about it. And being part of such an important story is a privilege. It's a huge thing for, like, many actors would love to portray a true event. Like, for me, in the same time, I'm thinking also, I wish if there is no story like this to tell. I wish if there is only love and
You wish that this
freedom.
story you didn't have to tell.
Yeah, that's, if you're asking me, I don't want to make a story like this, but that's what's going
And
on.
Amer, you said something similar to that as well.
It means a lot to me, like to tell the story, because it's so heartbreaking. It's say hearing a child begging to be rescued wherever they are. It's just heartbreaking. It just destroys your mind. Just hearing a voice of a child in need, just to survive. So
And it shows on screen. But Saja, what did it mean to you?
You know, when I first heard Hind Rajab's voice when it came out in the news in January 2024, I told myself, I wish I could have just hugged her.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I was there. She didn't die alone.
When you saw her picture as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, of course.
And so I think my subconscious kept that wish of mine, and I felt like on set, I was hugging her.
You were hugging her.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's how I felt. I mean, for me, my outlet is poetry. So when I'm not on set, I'm always writing poetry. And right before filming Hind Rajab, I was struggling to figure out, okay, what else can I do? How, as an artist, and we've said this before, you feel helpless, you feel like you're not doing much. So this film also fulfilled that side of us internally, to be like, hey, this is your chance. You want to talk about this film? You want to use your art? There you go. So I'm very grateful for Reedy, the director, for taking a chance on me, for giving me the opportunity to express myself.
I'm going to come back to that in a second, but Amer, please, about what this film meant
I
to
would
you.
say I have two things that one for me as an actor, which is the life jacket. That was a life jacket for the actor.
A life jacket.
Yeah, because
You think this
because I
saved
felt
you?
we were drowning. We were drowning in the feeling that we've lost the belief in art and in the influence of art and in the value of art and doing cinema and doing theater and doing all the stuff. Like, this is, if you can't save a child, I'm not talking just about Hind Rajab, during the genocide, if you can't save really a child, we felt like, does my art will save any child in Gaza now? No. Immediately, no. So I lost the belief. And then when I read the script, when Kaouthar offered Mahdi to me and read the script, I felt that this is a life jacket for me, because that film will bring back for me the belief in art, because this is the thing that I need to do. This is the duty for me to do. And the human one, I have a 6-year-old daughter. And for me, doing this film is just try to tell the world that, and to make people change and make the change. Maybe I will do something to save my even own daughter, which is, for now, she is safe. But I don't know what will happen next. So for me, telling a story, such a story, it's also telling the world, you need to do something about it and to stop the suffering, because the children should not suffer. And my daughter should not suffer like Hind Rajab, because immediately when I heard the voice of Hind Rajab in January 24, I looked at my daughter and felt like I'm even can't be the father who should protect his daughter, because if it's will happen now to my daughter, I can't save her. I'm a normal small person in the world. I have nothing to defend her.
I think this is an important question to ask, because I'm talking to 3 Palestinian actors here of Palestinian descent. What did this film mean in terms of how you dealt with your own identity, or how you view your own identity and the bigger picture of it all? As a Palestinian.
As a Palestinian, for me, this film is this is, we also lost we Palestinians outside of Gaza, no matter where you are.
Yeah.
We
You're
all lost.
Yeah, you're from Haifa.
Yeah, I'm from Haifa. we all lost kind of the connection, the immediate connection. And at the beginning of the genocide, we lost the kind of the feeling of the connection to be part of the Palestinian people, because we are witnessing what is happening in Gaza and we can't do anything to it and we can't stop it. And then I felt like I don't know I always felt like I'm part of the story. But at that time, I felt like maybe I'm not part of the story anymore. Maybe it's not my story. No, now maybe how can I call myself a Palestinian when I'm doing nothing?
How can I call myself a Palestinian?
When I'm doing nothing to because this is a big question for a Palestinian outside of Gaza. It was a big question, I think, for everyone, for every Palestinian. How am I a Palestinian when I'm doing nothing towards what is happening in Gaza? So for me, doing this film also and doing everything, like everyone is doing his stuff or her stuff, but doing this film, which is the thing that I know to do, or I claim that I know to do, just doing theater and cinema. For me, doing this, it just bring back and tied back the connection between me and my identity as a Palestinian after 2 years of loss and lost, and I'm drowning in a deep darkness and deep places that I felt like I'm disconnected from anything in the world. I was lost, and then this film just brought back the connection with myself and my identity.
Do any of you want to address this before I move to my next question about identity?
Well, for me as a diasporic, I never
Yeah.
lived in Palestine, but this film,
So it's a different experience.
it is than my castmates, but I've got closer to my identity, being surrounded by them, being on set, surrounded by even the extras on set were Palestinian students studying in Tunis, and just speaking to them and hearing their side, because I always had this conversation with myself: is, am I worthy of saying I'm Palestinian as someone who has never lived in Palestine? But then it reminds me of how important it is to mention that I am Palestinian, but I'm Jordanian as well, and I'm proud of that. Jordan gave me the opportunity to be able to express myself too. But Palestine taught me resilience and gave me community. It also taught me memory, preserving a memory. Jordan taught me community and care, and all of those together play out. And like Amer said, this film connects you in a world that's so disconnected.
And Saja, you had a quote about you didn't like the word humanize. You didn't like the word humanizing Hind Rajab.
Yes.
Can we expand on that? Can you tell me why you said that?
The term to me is absurd because when someone tells you, oh, this film, you've been humanized, or you humanized this person, it's almost as if you're saying they weren't human before and now they qualify for being human. And who gets to decide who's human and who's
And we heard
not?
that word a lot being used with Palestinians.
Yes, you hear that a lot with everyone that's been oppressed. So you say, oh, we need to humanize this. We need to talk about the human core, but that does not mean they weren't human before. They're still human. And that's why this film, the way it was written so brilliantly by Kaouthar, it shows you that you just need to talk about the human story. You don't need to try to humanize someone, because that's not the goal. You talk about one story. That's how you internally affect, because you see the numbers on the news all the time. Numbers on numbers, on headlines, but you don't know that behind every number is a human story.
And a family.
And a family and a girl that was trapped in a car with her. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Motaz?
Back to the question before. During the genocide, I was always trying to do anything I can. But the thing that I really love to do is acting.
Yeah.
So for me, like, it's kind of was so scary when Kaouthar got in touch. Like, she's the dream for me to work with. But like when I saw the story, I was terrified. I was scared. It's a big responsibility. But as Amer said, it's kind of saved me because I want to do something. I don't want to be just depressed at home doing demonstrations, do donations, bring like groups together, like to discuss about the situation. What can we do? What can we help? But acting, it's my thing. I live for acting. Like I started at a really young age, and this is my world. So it's the same with you. Your role is journalism. For me, like when I do, especially also a story like this, it's kind of made me feel like I'm doing something for my people. I'm not just doing the smallest stuff. And it's such an important story to be in it. So for me, it's a kind of life-saving.
I was talking about how you've been asked quite a bit about hearing Hind Rajab's voice for the first time. But my curiosity here is, when you did hear it for the first time on set, what was the conversation that you three had together? What was the first thing you guys said to one another after hearing Hind's voice for the first time?
I think for a long time, during the first day that we heard Hind Rajab, we didn't talk about it because
You didn't
everyone
talk
was
about it.
crying. Everyone was really emotional. Everyone on set, cast, crew, everyone. It went, it's something, the world collapsed again. Really, our world just collapsed again. And we didn't talk about this for many hours until we just, we collected ourselves, and then we started to have, the courage to look at each other again as person and stars, say, yeah, that's going to be a very, very tough experience.
But I will say there was so much love and respect on set that it made us be able to hear her voice and still do the work. Everyone came with so much love and respect. Kaouthar gave us the chance to, anytime we needed some space, anytime we needed to leave, and everyone was very accommodating to that, especially for us and with Clara as well. Because of that, we were able to continue. Because hearing a child for the first time pleading for survival is not an easy thing to hear. But being surrounded by such an incredible cast and crew can only help you give it what needs to be given. Because at the end of the day, we're just telling the story. We didn't live the story,
Final words, Motaz.
Final words, like when I heard her voice, I wish if earth opened and swallowed me. That's what I felt. Like I just want to disappear from earth. I don't want to. And in the same time, I was thinking, we literally didn't talk for a while. It took us time to really talk, like, wait a second, this is a real voice. You're not talking to like a made up somebody who's acting on the other side. So all I was wishing, like I wish and hope if that's unreal, but it is real. And it's, for me till now, like I can't believe how can the world let that happen. That's all I can say.
And we'll leave it here. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Mohamed.
First of all, thank you for this film, and thank you for sitting down.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.